Warning: this video contains literal amounts of bullshit frequently and commonly seen in combat arms, including but not limited to QQers, shitty ass teammates, no reg headshots, gun stealers, neck zonage, lag, bad elite mods, and a broken mouse disconnecting every fucking 23 1/3 seconds. Viewer discretion is advised. What's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, and this will be the last concluding episode for the very long M14 chapter on the M14 family, and we'll be concluding it with the very newest NX standard assault rifle that Nexon has released as of the latest January patch, called the Mk14 Mod 0. Now, for those of you guys who do play Modern Warfare 3, you will know that the Mk14 is an assault rifle unlocked somewhere along the game at a pretty high level. I forget what exactly because I haven't been playing Modern Warfare 3 a lot lately. But you guys might remember this from Modern Warfare 3 for those of you guys who do play this, play both Modern Warfare 3 and Combat Arms. So it's a nice addition. But not only is it like a gun that we all know from another series, but also it's a huge improvement to the M14 family, not just in itself, but also in the other M14 variants. We'll get to what I mean by that in a second here, but let's jump right into the stats of the Mk14 Mod 0 to figure out why the hell it's so damn overpowered. The damage on the Mk14 Mod 0 is actually decreased from the M14. If you guys remember back in my M14 review, I mentioned that the M14 has a damage rating of 50, so it can be either a very strong 3-shot kill or a very weak 2-shot kill, depending on range and just bullet compensation, bullet detection to begin with. Now, the Mk14 Mod 0 has a damage rating of 47, so it's not exactly going to be a 2-shot kill unless you're shooting someone from the back, which if you do, then it's pretty possible. I wouldn't be surprised if you could pull off 2-shot kills to the back, seeing it as has very high damage for an assault rifle. But you're never gonna get really any 2-shot kills to the front, so I mean there's not really much to expect from that. And initially, if you just look at the damage rating, it's kind of surprising because like why would Nexon give an NX standard gun a lesser damage rating than the original GP standard variant? And we'll get into the reason why in just a second. The portability on the Mk14 Mod 0 is at a 61, so by far this is the fastest variant of the M14s at 61. So that's really fast for the M14s. They're all battle rifles anyway, so 61 portability for a battle rifle is pretty light. They really took their time making this thing, didn't they? And here's the reason why the Mk14 Mod 0 is so damn overpowered. The rate of fire is at a whopping 70 for a freaking battle rifle. The M14 comparatively only has a rate of fire of 50. And that's a whole 20 points higher. So 20 points more rate of fire and in exchange for 3 points less of damage, I think I'd take that any day. Considering that the Mk14 Mod 0 is so damn powerful to begin with anyway, even if it does have 3 less than the M14. The biggest disadvantage to the M14, or one of its biggest disadvantages, was the fact that it just fired so damn slow. Now with the M14 or the Mk14 Mod 0, you don't have to worry about that because now the rate of fire has been buffed by 20 freaking points, and you can just spray the ever-living fuck out of people now, just like you almost would with the M14 EBR. And I'm thinking about it, they almost do have pretty similar fire rates, so it's not surprising in that. I mean, the Mk14 just looks like the freaking M14 EBR without its sniper scope. So, I mean, code-wise, I'm pretty sure Nexon didn't have to work much in order to bring the Mk14 into play here. Moving on to the accuracy is actually at an 81. Now this confuses me a little bit. The M14 had an accuracy rating of 90, whereas the Mk14 Mod 0, like I said, only has an 81 accuracy rating. Like I said, this is really confusing because the Mk14 is as accurate, if not more accurate than the M14. Actually, thinking about it, it's more accurate than the M14. If you guys remember back in my M14 review, I mentioned that I have an issue with the M14 sometimes not hitting its mark while scoped in at long range, especially while moving around. The Mk14 Mod 0 doesn't typically does not have that problem. It sometimes might appear when you're crouching around and moving around at the same time while scoped in and trying to shoot at people, but for the most part it's actually very accurate, and I do not understand why next one decided to give an 81. I can pick off headshots really easily with the scene, like right here. Right there, that's a perfect example. Whenever there are concealed people whose only visible body parts are the head or like a really small portion of the body, I'm really comfortable with the Mk14 doing the job, getting the job done, and shooting that one part of their body in order to take them out. So accuracy is a lot higher than the 81, trust me. The recoil on the Mk14 Mod 0 is even less than the M14 at 65, so not only is its rate of fire buffed by 20% points, but the recoil is also significantly decreased, and you can really see this in the hipfire spread of the Mk14 Mod 0. You guys remember back in the M14, another really big problem I have with M14 was that if you put it on full auto and just go spraying with the thing, its spread gets really fucking huge. In fact, it might be the biggest amongst all assault rifles in the game in terms of hipfire spread. The Mk14 Mod 0 doesn't get any bigger than the freaking G36 or the AK-47. Now that tells you something, doesn't it? Moving on to recoil spread, well, I just covered that, so let's move on. Recoil kickback. You will notice that the Mk14 will have a strong kickback in your hands. You will feel like the gun really jerks around your hand a lot. I mean, it's a battle rifle, so I mean, it's to be understood. But once you get the hang of it, it'll be quite easy to manage. At least a lot easier than the M14, anyway. Moving on to the recoil controllability. The recoil controllability is actually significantly tougher than the M14 for whatever reason. Alright, I know the reason, it's not whatever reason, but surprisingly. The Mk14 Mod 0, due to its enhanced rate of fire at freaking 70, makes it so that it's almost like the M14 EBR where you almost can't control the shots. You can, and one way to do it is to put it on single fire mode, which this M14 does have, just like all its other M14 variants. But even on full auto, it is possible to tap fire this gun and control the recoil that way, and especially through, looking down your sights, if you got an ACOG or an ITEC, controlling the recoil will be a little bit easier while aiming down sights. It's just that when you go full auto, it's not like the M14 where even if you go full auto, the M14 just keeps bouncing up and down, up and down. That's what she said too. But instead, the Mk14 Mod 0, because of its 70 rate of fire, for the first, I want to say like 4 or 5 shots, it'll go straight bounce up and down, and then it'll start bouncing off to the side, just like the M14 EBR. So I like to think of the Mk14 Mod 0 as a mixed cross between the M14 and the M14 EBR. So if that analogy makes sense at all, if you guys are following my drift. Moving on to the Tapfire ability, once again, the Tapfire ability is there. It's significantly harder than the M14, but using the single fire, it shouldn't be much of a problem. It is possible to begin with anyway. Moving on to the sprint drawback. The sprint drawback is pretty moderate for an assault rifle, so nothing too special about there to note. What is that? Next one. Draw speed. Draw speed is identical. The animation itself is identical to the M14 SE, and that's completely silent, and basically it just draws a little bit differently than the M14 or the M14 Camo or the M14 Classic for that matter. So, yeah, even the reload animation is identical to the M14 SE. It's got some characteristics there. Reload speed is very fast. Once again, the reload animation itself is also identical to the M14 SE's. Now moving on to the center speed. Center speed is significantly better than the M14. It returns to its normal crosshairs a lot quicker. Quickly? Is that a word? A lot more quickly than the M14. Though do keep in mind that because this is still a battle rifle, it will take some time more than your conventional assault rifle to have its spread go down to the way it was before you shot and you start firing. So keep that in mind. Now moving on to the fire modes. The fire modes on the Mk14 Mod 0 are single fire and fully auto, just like all its other M14 variants. Moving on to the luck. I wouldn't say this gun is lucky, but it's certainly very easy to pick off headshots. So in that sense, yes, it might be lucky, but then it's not really luck when you actually aim for the guy's head, right? So comparatively, the lug on the M14 or the Mk14 Mod 0 is moderately low, but considering all the times that I've actually consciously went for headshots and gotten them, I'd say the luck is actually pretty high. Moving on to the ammo capacity, this is where it gets a huge buff to the M14s. The Mk14 Mod 0 actually has a standard magazine capacity of 30 rounds in magazine and 90 in reserve. So more spray time, goody goody. Moving on to the key physical characteristics, the body of the gun actually looks identical to the M14 EBR. It looks like an M14 EBR without its scope on. It's got a sniper scope, that is. So yeah, in that sense, it looks pretty identical. Moving on to the muzzle noise. Muzzle noise is actually pretty different from the other M14 variants in that it's like a very, very high-pitched pew 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 sound, and it's actually pretty loud, so people will know what gun you are using, and they will be able to tell that you're coming from a very far place. So yeah, make sure you be careful about your shots. Though I don't recommend putting silencer on it though, so that's another matter to deal with. Moving on to the attachment options. The attachment options are, I believe, all are available, so you can just go ahead and put whatever you want on the on your Mk14 Mod 0 and have fun with it. Now for Fireteam Worthy, I honestly think that this Mk14 Mod 0 is the best weapon for Fireteam. I tried it in Fireteam the other day, and on Cabin Fever, it was just absolutely tearing the zombies a new one. I was dropped. I think I lasted one door by myself, the hole in the wall, by myself for the first 7 rounds by myself with just the Mk14 Mod 0. It's just that good. Well, this looks like this video is going to wrap up, and I need to load the next gameplay, so because I've forgotten about the next video, so I'm gonna be right back, so give me a second. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry for that. I just had to load the next video in my editing program here. So basically, going off on the Fireteam Worthy stuff. Fireteam is, or rather the Mk14 Mod 0 is definitely very suited for Fireteam. I was actually pretty surprised when I found out just how good the Mk14 Mod 0 was at Fireteam. But I definitely, for you guys who do have the Mk14 Mod 0, I definitely do recommend to you guys to use the Mk14 Mod 0 in Cabin Fever or Black Lung or any other zombie Fireteam mode, because it can really wreck people's day, and especially it'll wreck the zombies. And I don't even think it takes more than 25 bullets to take down a blue tank with just headshots from the Mk14 Mod 0. It's just that powerful. Now, whether or not it's quarantine worthy, I wouldn't really say so, because I mean, it is a battle rifle. It is what it is. So portability, even though it is significantly increased from the M14, the portability is still at a pretty low 61. So I mean, if you want to use the Mk14 in quarantine, go ahead, be my guest. But there are better weapons to use than the what's this called? The Mk14 Mod 0. Now, for my frank personal opinions, I honestly think that this is the most overpowered assault rifle in the game as of now. It's a freaking battle rifle with a rate of fire faster than the G36 and damage that's pretty much higher than any other assault rifle in this game, save for like a couple like advanced computer science or something like that. Or what? What the hell did I just say? Sorry guys, it's been a long day. I had been helping out some stuff at school. We had some middle school orientation shit, so yeah, it's been a very long day, as you guys can probably tell. So yeah, it's definitely one of the most overpowered assault rifles in combat arms as of now. I don't know if they're going to be putting a nerf on this gun or not, but until then, I might as well just enjoy just how great-faced this gun is. And for those of you guys who haven't gotten it already, I suggest you guys really do so, because it's only here for permanent duration for about 2 weeks now, and I don't know when this video is going to go up. So by the time this video goes up, the Mk14 Mod 0 may actually be out of sale for permanent. So make sure you guys act fast. So yeah, those are just basically my frank personal opinions. This gun is a rape factory. If it all goes to plan. If not, then it can still do work on people and make them pissed off. So yeah. Spoiler alert, I do get kicked from this game, so tells you something, doesn't it? And now for my final rating. Let me give out my handy dandy calculator. I wonder who said that. So my handy dandy calculator says that at close quarters, the Mk14 Mod 0 is actually pretty damn dangerous at close quarters. So I'm gonna have to get about a 90 at close quarters. It's very, very dangerous. At middle range is going to stay consistently about a 85, and at long range I'm gonna have to give it about another 80 because definitely the Mk14 Mod 0 is known for its more longer his longer range engagement abilities. So I mean, you gotta play to that. So yeah, our final rating gives us a number of 85%. So this is a very high rating once again for a gun like this. So yeah, 85%. Wow, that's really high for an assault rifle. Anyways, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this chapter on the M14. Next chapter I will be covering is what I believe to be the submachine guns, which I believe the next one is the K1A or something like that. I'm gonna have to remember again, or I'm gonna have to check again. So hope you guys will look forward to the next chapter on whatever gun I will be doing next. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this M14 chapter, concluded last by the Mk14 Mod 0. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I will be seeing you guys in another episode. So I'm sure I'm gonna be leaving off some commentary less gameplay here, but whatever. At least it's not like I'm going to be cutting off the rest of the video just because my commentary is over. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in a bit. So yeah.